It's adventure time again. And this is what's on the bench. It's a full-size motorcycle, just smaller. Yeah, so this is like I think it's a 10.5 inch OSET electric motorcycle. I bought this thing a while ago to teach my grandson how to ride. Awesome bike. He started out at 2.5 years old, and he rode it and got too big for it, and I sold it to a buddy of mine, and his son started out on it, and now his daughter is going to start out on it. And so I figured now is the time to make it go a whole lot faster. So what do you do when you want to go a whole lot faster? You need more volts from here. This is the new battery pack, and that is consisted of a bunch of these packs, and this is one of the kind of the cool things about these packs. These are brand new. Got them from batteryhookup.com. Thanks, guys. Got a whole box of them. But inside that wrapper is 2 cells in parallel, and there's a BMS. So there's an integral BMS, which is really cool as far as building a larger pack, which I did right here. So housed inside of here, this is about as much battery as I could fit in the available space right here. There's 8 of these packs in parallel, so basically 16P in a 7 series or 7S configuration to give me a finish voltage at 4.2 volts. So actually I've got the charger set down a little bit. 3.5 volts is the finish volts from this charger. Picked this off of eBay. It was used, said that they had problems with it, and ultimately, guess what? Both of the fuses were blown. Go figure. Who knows? But pulled the cover off, and there's a pot right about here, which you can adjust the finish voltage at, or so that it meets the pack. That's the pack, right? So this thing finishes out. I've got it set at 29.35 volts. Technically, I could take it to 23.4, but 3.5 is just fine. So made another modification on the charger. So went XT60 connectors pretty much throughout the whole build. So there's XT60 connector coming off of the battery pack. This mess right here, this guy right here is off the battery pack. Runs through this mechanical contactor, and get these out of the way so we don't let sparks out. So this is a keyed style mechanical contactor rated at 100 amps. I put a XT60 bulkhead fitting in here, which disconnects from the main contactor. So then basically the main contactor enables the charge port. It energizes the 120 amp rated 24 volt activated main relay contactor. And the relay contactor, these wires right here, will ultimately be controlled through these massive connectors connected to this guy right here, which is a 36 volt 100 amp rated Kelly Controls brushed, because that's what this is. This motor is a brushed brush controller. So, but it's a digital one, so we can plug the computers in right there with the fancy dancy extra super cool cable, which, by the way, if you don't have that converter and you plug, because it is a DB9, you plug this into a computer with a DB9 connector, and you think that you can do RS-232, you can't. You've got to use this converter. So anyway, I learned that the hard way a while ago. So yeah, pretty excited. I just plugged the battery in. The motor is unplugged right now, which is the safe thing to do. There's another XT60 sitting down there. So I got a couple more wires I got to finish up. This is going to be the I want to go button. So this will energize the contactor, or excuse me, energize the controller. And if everything is copacetic with the controller, it will then energize the contactor, which then everything's live, and the go faster knob right here should work. And yeah, pretty excited about this. I bought this controller years ago when I was gonna hot rod basically do exactly this, but by the time I did all of my other projects, this went behind, went down the list. But yeah, so my buddy said, yeah, I want to hot rod this thing for my daughter, and this is what we're getting. So all in, this battery is what, 34 amp hour is what it's rated at, roughly, because each one of these guys is 4400 amp hour, times 8. You do the math, because I'm lazy. The original lead acid batteries that were in this thing, I think were maybe rated for 6 or 8 amp hour. Couple little, basically, UPS, small UPS style lead acid batteries. Nothing major current capable. This thing, however, based upon some of the research that I've done, people are stating that you can pull this to the 4.4 amps, each one of these packs, on just a consistent basis. It'll do it. So my hope here is, with 8 of these in parallel, that they'll put up with drop test, the abuse that this is going to put on that through this to the ground. This tire will probably definitely need to be replaced, because it's going to do some smoky burnouts. At least that's my idea. Fun. But yeah, controller is capable of 100 amps. Not sure if the battery pack is capable of answering that call. This brushed motor is rated for all of 24 volts at 33 amps. So, we should be able to let the smoke, or just at the very least burn most of the paint off here pretty easily. But all joking aside, kind of overbuilt it, but this was kind of the go-to. As you can see, it barely fits. You gotta cut the straps, the factory straps that ran across the frame rail. This is the old controller right here. It used to basically sit in a similar location, but as you can see, it's a little bit smaller, and it's rated for 40 amps. So this baby is definitely going to 11, it. But yeah, that's going to go in that pile. But the cool thing about these color controllers is you plug the computers in and you use their tuning app, and you can get the controller to do things like not be freaking insane. So there's a lot of overhead in this controller as far as current carrying capability. use your 3Cs, Ken. Okay. Motor is probably the weak point in this whole setup. Battery is an unknown as a pack. I don't know. I plugged it into the charger, and the charger did the chargery things, and it's holding the charge. And I haven't put it on a load test yet because I really don't have a way to do that. But yeah, when I put a small fuse in it for right now, it's only got a 40 amp fuse. Might have to turn that up a little bit. Don't know. We'll see if we blow it. But there you go. That's the craziness that's in the shop right now. All of the tools on the bench, and then some. But the never-ending saga of the CB750 chopper is just that. It's a never-ending saga. But I do have brake master cylinder and the caliper that's hiding under a bunch of wires over there. Oh yeah, by the way, 2170 cells, 15S, 5P. This thing's going in. That right there to replace those cells, which actually are capable of doing all of the currents, but they just don't have the range. So that 2170 pack is going to go in here, which will be kind of fun to play with. But yeah, working on electricity stuff, which is kind of fun, which is taking me away from the long-term saga of this bike, but this has to get mostly done so that it can come back off the lift, so that bandit that's hiding over there can get up on the lift, and I can actually get that job done. But priority was this, because this needs to be done sooner than later, and so I can get my bench back. But super excited about that. This is going to be fun. Hopefully I get all the wires connected to the right places. So enjoy, have fun, be good, or at least don't get caught.